Laser sights will make you a more accurate and confident shooter by providing visual feedback on sight alignment and trigger control. Crimson Trace, making laser sights standard equipment. Learn more at crimsontrace.com.
This is Tom Gresham's Gun Talk, now available on iTunes and other podcast clients, and on the free Gun Dealio smartphone app for iPhone and Android. Feel free to call Tom now at 1-TOM-TALK-GUN or 866-825-5486, or email Tom at guntalk.com. Now, once again, here's Tom.
And welcome back. Tom Gresham here. If you'd like to join us, just give me a holler. Just dial Tom Talk Gun. That'll get you in there. And we're pretty much open lines about anything you want to talk about, as long as it's about guns or ammo or safety or shooting or hunting or storing guns safely in your home, or self-defense, or how to carry, or where to carry, or what to do in your car, or carjackings. Yeah, actually a lot of things we can talk about. You know, it reminds me, when you talk about shooting, it's interesting. It's kind of like that old story of the blind man and the elephant. When people look at shooting, they see what they know. And, the guys with the blind men with the elephant, they're feeling the legs, or they're feeling the trunk, or they're feeling the tail, and they're trying to describe what it is. And what is shooting? Well, if you're into hunting, that's what you're thinking of. If you're into self-defense, that's what you think of. If you're a political reporter, you're thinking of crime and politics. But there's a whole big area out there that you kind of know about, but you may not know much about. You know, of course, that shooting is actually a big part of the Olympics. Got another Olympics coming up. And who does that? What's the body? How does that all work? Well, joining me to explain a lot of that, or at least touch on some of it, is Kevin Neuendorf from USA Shooting. Hey, Kevin.
Tom, how are you doing today?
I'm good. So, first of all, tell people what USA Shooting is.
So, and that was a great lead-in, so I very much appreciate that, very much appreciate being with you and your listeners. But USA Shooting is the national governing body for Olympic-style shooting sports in this country. So we are the body who prepares our athletes to compete in the Olympic Games. And like you said, a lot of people may not know that that's even exists, because we don't get much television time, but there's 15 Olympic sports actually. So we govern all of that and make sure that our athletes are prepared to compete against the very best throughout the world.
Shooting is actually one of the larger events at the Olympics, isn't it?
That is correct. Yeah, we're probably rowing, fencing, and shooting probably have the most amount of events, and it's highly competitive. Actually, here's another statoid for you that many people wouldn't know. We're the most widely participated sport of any Olympic sport. So, yeah, everybody thinks that we should be dominating the Olympic shooting sports because of the gun culture in America, but it's actually the most amount of countries participate in the shooting sports of any other sporting event at the Olympics.
I did not know that. That's interesting. Yeah. And I know that it always surprises people when you say, the shooters in Germany, shooters in Europe, and they go, a lot of people here are thinking, well, I didn't realize that they had shooting or they had guns there. Oh yeah. They have an active shooting culture in a lot of countries. It's just different from the U.S.
Yeah, it's a very, very different culture. China is the number one country in the Olympic shooting sports. They dominate the medal totals and have for the past several Olympic Games. And if you think about it, for lack of a better term, there's an arms race, right, between the United States, Team USA, and China or Russia or whatever it is. Well, where are you going to get the most medals from? It's those multi-sport or multi-event sports.
Sure.
So within shooting, there's 45 medals to be won, and China's going after every one of them, it seems.
And the other thing that's cool about shooting is that it's women and men are shooting together in these events. In many of them, anyway.
Yeah. They are actually separate medal events, and for the first time ever in 2020, there'll be mixed team events, and that's a new change since the 2016 Olympics. That in 2020 we'll have mixed team events. So we're all in air pistol, air rifle, and shotgun trap events. So
I guess what I meant to say is that there are plenty of openings for women to shoot to compete in shooting.
Yeah, and honestly, our Team USA right now, the women are the dominant figures in our sport. It's no longer the men. We won 3 Olympic medals and 1 Paralympic medal in Rio in 2016, and all 3 won by women, and the Paralympic medal was won by a woman as well. So our women are dominating the scene right now, which speaks to a lot of what you're seeing within the gun culture in America, right? The rise of female shooting in this country and this popularity, and nowhere is that more evident than the USA shooting team.
Now, we've got Olympics coming up, just right after the first of the year, and, it's Winter Olympics, and people a lot of times don't think about it, but we actually have a shooting event in the Winter Olympics.
Yes, biathlon. So, it's funny that a lot of people, when you think about shooting, the first thing, and you probably hear this as well, but as the PR guy for the USA shooting team, a large times what happens is, you're doing the biathlon, right? You do the ski and shoot. The ski, well, we don't. We support those guys. There are actually 2 different national governing bodies, strangely enough, that actually govern those. But
well, Kevin, you know why that is, right? Because they get, because of the action, the skiing part of it, they get more television coverage. And while shooting is covered in a lot of the rest of the world in the Summer Olympics, for whatever reason, the U.S. viewers don't really get that kind of coverage for the shooting events, do they?
Yeah, you never see it, and I think that what you say is exactly right, which is the ski portion of that tames it down a little bit, right? It makes it more wholesome for whatever reason to the powers that be at these television stations. It's more wholesome. It's more related to what somebody else might go do, And then the other reason is the Winter Olympics there's 9 sports versus 36. So there's a lot less to put on television. So in those late night hours when they're trying to fill those blocks and fill that TV time, how about an exciting ski shoot competition? And it's strangely enough, you actually see more of the skiing than you actually do the shooting. But
but in the summer, just for people to get an idea, we've got various types of air guns. We've got pistol shooting. We've got rifle shooting. We've got shotgun shooting. So you got an awful lot of different kinds of shooting going on in the Summer Olympics.
Yeah, we've got three different disciplines. So we cover rifle, so it's air gun or air pistol and air rifle, and then we've got 22 caliber as well, and then that's the same on the pistol side, and then shotgun we do trap and skeet.
Exactly. All right, now you had a change at the top level there at USA Shooting. You've got a new director.
Yeah, we couldn't be more excited. Keith Inlow, who is a vice president from Remington Arms, will be at our headquarters tomorrow morning, ready to start a new venture and really a new chapter in USA Shooting's history. And where we couldn't, as a staff, as an organization and a governing body, we couldn't be more excited to welcome Keith and kind of get started with new leadership. Some people may fear that type of new leadership, but I think we're going to wrap our arms around it, and our athletes and our sport, I think, will do the same. He's an industry guy, which, as you know, means the world.
It means a lot. But, there's something else he has going for him. He's an industry guy. He's an administrator, but he is also an athlete.
Yeah, former pole vaulter at the University of Missouri. So, prior to that, a gymnast. So he understands that athlete mentality, and that'll be very important as he connects to our athletes and being able to give them the tools and resources and understanding they need to really achieve their dreams. So,
all right, before I let you go, I got to ask you that there are ways that people can help. People may not even know. Hey, you can actually you can join USA Shooting. You can help out here.
Yeah, and we're the only non-government shooting entity in the world. So every other shooting program that we're going against is government backed, except for ours. And the whole Olympics is not backed by the government, and that's where we need people's help is the money. It's not cheap to send a team to China or the World Championships next year in Korea. And so from a donor standpoint and an individual, it's dollars that help support the shooting dreams of so many youth athletes, and that's where we can use the biggest help. And from an industry standpoint, it's the backing, it's that industry support that's so necessary and crucial to maintaining our tradition of excellence. We've won 110 Olympic medals, and we're going for more in 2020.
Well, frankly, I don't want the Chinese to beat us, I got to tell you.
and every athlete that we have echoes that same sentiment.
Okay. If you go to usashooting.org, that's the website. You can find out more about it, and there's also a place there to donate. Kevin, thank you so much. I really appreciate it, and a real big vote of confidence, and welcome to Keith when he gets there. Thank you so much for the time and opportunity. All right, you take care. All right, 866-TALK-GUN is our number here. By the way, that website was usashooting.org. You'll take a look at it and see what I'm talking about. It's very cool. Hey, the Olympics are cool. Anyway, I like those. So, what have you been shooting? What have you tried? And also, do you have any experience with lasers? Good, bad, and different? I'd like to get that range report. 866-TALK-GUN.
In the war on terror, fighting crime in the streets, in competition and homes around the world, one name in firearms stands out: Sig Sauer. Our pistols and rifles are renowned for their unfailing performance. This same commitment to excellence can be found in our line of SigTac accessories and the training offered by the Sig Sauer Academy. For unmatched quality, reliability, and innovation when it counts, choose Sig Sauer. Visit sigsauer.com today.
This land, once wild and free, fades now from our memory. But I remember what it was like, what we were like, what we are capable of when we band together. Perhaps more than any other landscape, wetlands embody the life-giving abundance that nature has to offer. And perhaps more than any other organization, Ducks Unlimited is working to ensure that our continent's wetlands not only survive, but thrive for generations well beyond this one. These natural wonders are where waterfowl begin their cycle of life, where the deer and the antelope play, and where we, the people, gather together to see and share what makes the outdoors so great. The time is now to band together with organizations like Ducks Unlimited. The time is now to rescue our wetlands.
Now you can own a brand new revolver with roots in the 1800s. The astounding North American Arms Ranger 2. A break-action, 5-shot, 22 Magnum mini revolver. Inspired by the Schofield Smith & Wesson of the 1870s, this 7-ounce Magnum revolver is fun to shoot and easy to carry every day. Historic style, high-tech, pocket precision. Check out the new Top Break Ranger 2 at NorthAmericanArms.com. NorthAmericanArms.com.
Attacks happen every day. How will you react? See real people put into real-life criminal attack situations on First Person Defender. Discover what works and what doesn't. Kidnapping, ATM robbery, home invasion, and other attacks. Learn how to save your life and the lives of your family. Get the entire first season on DVD at ShopGunTalk.com. Get prepared. ShopGunTalk.com.
For legendary Mossberg reliability in a compact package without the requirement of NFA paperwork, look for the Mossberg 590 Shockwave. Now available in both 12 and 20 gauge. These pump-action firearms feature a 14-inch barrel, a bird's head pistol grip, and a length just over 26 inches. Check out the Shockwaves at Mossberg.com. Mossberg. American built, American strong. Arm yourself with Mossberg.
Sometimes you just see an article or something online, just think, okay, that's just funny. I like that. This is an article just popped up on buryingarms.com. I just love the title. He says, are gun control advocates liars or just stupid? Then he adds in the first paragraph, he says, I'll also concede that the word or in that first sentence may need to be and as well. It's certainly possible that they're both. That is, they're both liars and stupid. It goes on with some great examples there, but it's actually pretty hilarious to see the links to which the gun ban industry and their people in Congress will go, how far they will go with this. the amendments being thrown on to H.R. 38, which is our National Reciprocity Bill, which moved out of committee, and it's going to be voted on by the House of Representatives on Wednesday. You need to be calling your Congress folks. By the way, if you're not sure who they are, let me see. We had that. You guys gave it to me. Yeah, house.gov. Just go to house.gov/representatives, and it will tell you who your representative is and how to get a hold of him or her. Anyway, some of the amendments they're throwing in, you're thinking, it's like they're saying, well, it should be illegal. We'll make it illegal for reciprocity to exist for someone who has a conviction for violence. And you're going, wait, you can't own a gun if you can't have a concealed carry. They just don't know. They either don't know or they don't care, and they say, well, yeah, but it should be this way. And we go, but that's already the law. Yeah, I know, but we need to pass this. Maybe you are stupid and a liar. I don't know what it is there. Just crazy town. All right, let's go to line 2. Philip's with us out of Beaumont, Texas, and he is excited. Philip, what are you excited about, man?
Hey, I wanted to call. I had a range report on a 327 Magnum.
Yeah?
I actually went kind of whole hog. You declared it the year of the revolver.
Okay.
So I got a Ruger LCR, and while I was at it, I went ahead and got a single 7 Ruger in 327.
Nice.
And then while I was at it, my wife got me an early Christmas gift of a Henry 327 Big Boy.
Oh, nice. Now, have you had a chance to go shoot the lever action?
I actually did. I got to go visit with my folks over the holidays, over Thanksgiving, and so my dad and I took it out. And Tom, it is absolutely more fun than a barrel of monkeys to shoot. Very, very accurate. Offhand, I was shooting. I actually had a big amount of 32 Smith & Wesson long.
Okay.
And I mean, just wearing a steel plate out at 100 yards.
And no recoil to speak of, right?
No, especially with the 32 Smith & Wesson long. I mean, it's just a little more than a 22 long as far as recoil.
Mm-hmm.
But the 327 hits with quite a bit of authority at 100 yards, and and of course I had the 327 Magnum single 7. I'm telling you, that cartridge is very versatile, and I'm a hand loader, so it's hard to don't find much ammo in the stores as far as pre-bought stuff, extra stuff.
Right.
But
all right, let me ask you. I know your buddies probably ask you, what do you tell them when they say, "Why a 327?" What's up with that?
Well, they did, and as far as being able to load the 327 Magnum, it kind of overlaps with the 357 as far as power and everything. Less recoil, less noise as well, and then of course the ability to shoot. You can shoot 32 Smith & Wesson, 32 Smith & Wesson long, 32 Colt, and 327s, all in the same gun. So it is absolutely just. You declared it the year of the revolver some time back, so I took it to heart.
That's right. We have 1 month left in the year of the revolver. I only did that because there were several companies that brought out cool new revolvers, and then as the year has gone by, we've had more and more. I mean, Ruger's got new revolvers, and Smith's got new revolvers, and Kimber has a revolver, and it goes on and on. So I don't know what it was, but it seemed like everybody was bringing out revolvers, and a ton of people kind of either discovered or rediscovered the love of shooting a revolver.
Right. Yeah, years ago, that's of course what I shot. I had a couple of different revolvers, 44 mag, 357, that kind of thing. Kind of got away from it, went the semi-auto route, but this has definitely renewed my love for shooting a revolver. It's just a different feel. You just get a different feeling from it. And the little LCR, I do want to brag on it. That thing very accurate for a 2-inch barrel, snubby revolver. But the thing about it is, for the same size as a 5-shot, you get actually 6 shots with the 327 Magnum.
Michelle is typing a note in here. She says revolvers are the analog semi-autos. I like that.
It's true. It's true. It's just a totally different feel, especially a single action. You get up there with the single action and that little crisper, shorter trigger pull, and it's just a blast.
It's just fun. It is. Well, look, congratulations and thanks for the range report. That is very cool. Thank you, Philip. Appreciate that. I want to jump in. Line 1. Tom is driving in Texas. Tom, you got some help with us on this 22-250 thing.
Yeah. Your previous caller. I used to shoot 22-250 in F-class competition at 200, 300, and 600 yards.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of guys told me it couldn't be done with a 12 twist, which is what my Savage Model 12 had.
Okay.
And it shot, the 55s, the 40s, and all that relatively well. Sub-MOA, roughly 3/4-inch groups, 5-shot. And it was recommended by an old friend of mine to try the 69 grain Sierra Mancha King. I was like, well, that's not supposed to stabilize.
Right.
And I took it I loaded some up, shot a 1/4-inch 5-shot group with it at 100 yards, and took it out and started shooting pretty competitively at the 600-yard range with it. So the 22-250 with a 12 twist, I think because of the added velocity, helps keep the bullet stable at long range.
That's an interesting point because people are probably used to thinking in terms of twist rates for 223 velocities, and you're getting, I'm trying to remember what the jump would be, you're probably looking at 400 or 500 feet per second faster out of 22-250. Wouldn't you think that'd be about right? Oh, we just lost him. He's driving into the dead zone there. But yeah, the 22-250 is it's old, but it's still hot as it can be and a really, really good caliber. It used to be strictly for varmints, and now that we have good bullets for it, a lot of people are using it for deer hunting. I mean, just like they're using 223, but I mean, take the 223 and bump it up 2 or 3 notches, and that's the 22-250. You're getting, well, with 40 grain bullets, you're getting well over 4,000 feet per second. But it is significantly faster. And boy, I mean, you can tell the difference when you're shooting way out at a distance. The time difference as well as the drop is significantly different. I love the 22-250. I probably have, 6 cases of ammo for the 22-250. And I think we have either 2 or 3 rifles chambered for it. I don't know. People say, how many guns do you have? I don't know. More than I need and not as many as I want. 866-TALK-GUN.
Gun Talk encourages you to support the local sporting goods store, gun stores, ATV dealers, and other local businesses in your area who advertise on this station and Gun Talk. Only together can we protect our rights. You're listening to Washington Times opinion page regular contributor Tom Gresham.
All right, back with you. Out of Florida, they're talking about should more people be carrying guns. They had a shooting at it looks like an auto parts place or an auto body shop. Auto shop employees were credited with taking down a guy who came there basically to kill, looks like maybe to kill everybody. He killed one guy, wounded and paralyzed another one. But police credited 2 employees, Don Smith and Nathan Taylor, who were armed with their own guns, with halting the shooting spree. The shooter was named Bailey. He was shot twice. The sheriff, I believe it was a sheriff. Let me find it. Yeah, it says it's obvious the shooter could have continued to shoot until someone stopped him. Bailey has been charged with the shooting. Brevard County Sheriff Wayne Ivey said, I'm firmly convinced we can no longer sit back and pray the fight isn't brought to us. Ivey said in a YouTube video he posted back in June. He says, he says, if there's an active shooter, until law enforcement arrives, it's up to you to neutralize or eliminate the threat. How often have I said this? Your carry gun, your self-defense gun, is a fire extinguisher. You don't say, I'm not going to have a fire extinguisher because there's a fire department. No. You say, I will use the fire extinguisher to try to keep things under control until the fire department shows up. Same thing with your self-defense gun. It's not to replace the police, but it's to stop the fight, to control the situation as best you can until help arrives. They'll be there. They just are not going to be there when you need them. I'm sorry. If you're law enforcement, I'm not dissing on you. You know the drill. It's what you would tell your wife. We're not going to be here when you get attacked. We're not. The cops are not going to be there. It's up to you to take care of you. Now, you can choose to not do that. And people get upset when I say this, but yes, I think you're irresponsible. I think you're irresponsible if you don't have a method for taking care of your children in an attack. Well, I know there's like a million reasons why you don't. I think it's irresponsible. You are free. You are free to disagree, okay? Let's go to line 4. Don's with us out of North Dakota. Hey, Don, what are you looking for here?
Yeah, about an hour ago you gave a website for Springfield guns. I didn't catch the last part of that. Do you happen to remember what it was?
Was that in a commercial that ran, do you think?
Yes, it was.
Okay, yeah, it's Springfield Armory, and the website is springfield-armory.com is their website.
Okay, the Armory.
Armory, it's Springfield. The company is Springfield Armory, and the website is Springfield-Armory, ARMORY.com. Springfield-Armory.com. Okay?
Okay, thank you very much.
You bet. Glad to help out. All righty. Line 3, Stan's with us out of Dayton, Nevada. Hey, Stan, what's going on here?
Yeah, Tom, listen, I probably got my answer from the screener because she asked me a very pointed question. I bought an inside the waistband holster for my little semi-automatic car, 9mm car, and I put it in there, and I went to the restaurant, and I noticed it was started working its way out of my pants, and boy, that would have been real disconcerting had it come out. Yeah. But can you recommend a good inside the waistband holster that?
Sure.
One thing she asked me, I probably have the answer right now, but she said, well, is the clip plastic or metal? And I said, I don't know. Well, I just checked it, and it's a plastic clip, so no wonder.
Although, I will say this, there are a lot of really fine holsters that are made of Kydex that use Kydex for the clip, and it works just fine. We're talking about the clip that goes over your belt. But to that point, you need to test this stuff ahead of time. Crossbreed holsters makes really fine holsters. Alien Gear makes really fine holsters. But there are a dozen really good holster makers out there. The deal is two things. One is, what kind of belt do you wear?
Well, it's a Walmart belt. It's about a 1.5-inch leather. Okay. And it looks like I'm feeling it now. It's kind of a little flexible. Maybe that's the reason. It's a little too flexible.
Okay, let me just tell you, I have an opinion on that belt. It's crap. Get rid of it. You are betting your life that your gun's going to be where you left it. With a belt like that, it won't be. You need a gun belt. The gun belt is going to cost you somewhere in the neighborhood of $40 or $50 for a good gun belt made by a gun belt company, by a holster company like Crossbreed or Alien Gear or somebody else. And they have them that don't look like tactical belts, but they are different. And when you get one, you'll go, oh, I see. And what will happen is when you get one, that holster you have may work. Because right now you got this crummy little belt that there's not much for it to hold on to, and the belt's flexing, and it's probably thin, and you get a good gun belt gives the clip something to hold on to. It's probably going to hold up. The belt is the foundation for everything in your holster gun situation, and not enough people give it the importance that it deserves. I can't tell you how many people have called here and said, I've been hearing you talk about belts for years. I didn't pay attention. And finally, I got one. It's like, holy cow, Tom was right. This is a game changer. Now my system is comfortable. My gun is comfortable. It stays right where it's... Yes. So that's first order of business. Get yourself a good belt. See if your Uncle Mike's holster works with that. If it doesn't, and I think you're going to find it doesn't, I'm going to suggest that you go ahead and get yourself a better holster. There are different levels. Get you in Crossbreed, 8-in gear, Comptech, Raven, it goes on and on. There are a lot of really good ones out there. 866-TALK-GUN. We'll be right back.
Face it, sometimes more is better. That's the idea behind the double-stack, full-capacity pistols from Springfield Armory. From the groundbreaking XD to the ergonomic XDM to the latest refinements in the XD Mod 2 series, you can get subcompact, midsize, and full-size pistols in 9, 40, and 45. Carry, target, or tactical models. Fast, accurate, dependable. Don't come up short when it matters. Go full cap. Go Springfield Armory. Springfield-Armory.com.
If you're like me, you don't have money to burn, but you still want to buy guns, ammo, and accessories. That's why we created Gun Dealio. That's a free smartphone app. Just download it and start getting the deals. Could be discounts, offers of free magazines for your gun, or you could be the first to hear about new stuff from gun makers. Here's how it works. With Gun Dealio on your phone, you get alerts when you enter a gun store. Special deals, You don't have to do a thing. It'll do a lot of other cool things, like let you watch gun videos and listen to Gun Talk podcast. Plus, check it anytime for hundreds of deals and offers. Getting more while spending less. Smart, huh? Gun Dealio. Made in America. Gluten-free. At the App Store and Google Play or gundealio.com.
Laser sights enhance shooting fundamentals, sight alignment, and trigger control. Training with laser sights increases muzzle awareness, improves and corrects sight alignment at sight picture, and aids in acquiring and maintaining sight picture in low light conditions. Call 800-442-2406 or visit crimsontrace.com for a free copy of our laser training video, The Laser's Edge, and learn why Crimson Trace is making laser sights standard equipment.
The Black Hills. There's nothing like it on Earth. The kind of place where characters become legends. Wild Bill Hickok, Crazy Horse, Calamity Jane. Pick any part of the world and you'll find people go there to make it their own. But this is where people come to get made. This is the place that made the people who make the best ammo on Earth. Black Hills Ammunition.
For tactical equipment for military, law enforcement, and shooting enthusiasts, look for the name Elite Survival Systems, creators of high-quality, intelligently designed products for concealed carry, discreet transport, and rigorous tactical uses. Elite Survival Systems knows there isn't just one method of carry that works for everyone. Elite offers a vast array of concealment products to fit your lifestyle, including holsters, belts, vests, pouches, slings, bags, backpacks, and cases. Find out more at EliteSurvival.com.
Okay, I'm just knocking off a note to Jeff. He sent me an email. Says, having trouble with his Ruger 25-round magazines in his 1022. He says, I've tried lubing them, cleaning them, storing them loaded, different ammo. They still jam. Factory 10-round mag is fine. My mags work in my son's 1022. Aha, a clue. So his mags don't work in his 1022, but they work in his son's 1022. He says, I'm thinking it's the gun, ? I'm thinking you're right, Jeff. I think there may be an issue here. Now, what you may want to do is clean your rifle really well and maybe use some molybdenum disulfide. It's just fun to say molybdenum moly grease on it on a few key places and see how that works. There's also one other little trick. It's not exactly a feeding deal, but it can't hurt. As I've seen some target shooters with 22s put a drop, believe it or not, a drop of oil on the bullet, the projectile of 22 ammo to help it to feed. I've never done it, but I've seen the people who do it are smarter than I am and more experienced at shooting, so who knows? Maybe something there. So, whatever. Let's see. Oh, Robert, line 2 out of Carson City, Nevada. Hey, Robert, thanks for holding on there.
Yes, sir. I just want to mention in the name of gun safety for a Colt single-action revolver, load 5 to carry it, not 6. Also, how to load 5.
Mm-hmm.
Load 1, skip 1, load 4, and then hammer back, hammer down on the empty hole chamber. Also want to mention politicians and news people that don't know about guns mention clip instead of magazine. An M1 rifle takes a clip. An M14, M16 take a magazine. So when they're talking on the radio, they always talk about clip. They don't know what they're talking about. Correct me if I'm wrong.
No, you're right. If it's a detachable box magazine, it's a magazine. And the Garand and Enfield use clips. You're exactly right. And there's also a clip you can use for a revolver. If you are snapping your revolver rounds into a clip for a cylinder that has been set up for that. So it's confusing, and yeah, I know, and that's not the only thing they don't know. They don't know anything about guns. They don't know how they work. And the beauty of it is they don't care because, you see, they're right. And once they're right, they don't actually need to know what they're talking about. It's a beautiful thing to watch. From, Carolyn McCarthy, who said, when she was asked by Tucker Carlson, what is a barrel shroud? She says, well, it's a shoulder thing that goes up. What are you going to do with that? I don't know. We'll make fun of it. That's what we'll do with it. Hey, Randy's on line 3 out of Texas. Hey, Randy, you're on Gun Talk. What you looking for?
Hey, Tom, I was just going to let you know you are so right about the gun belt.
Yeah?
Listening to you and with your advice, I ordered the Bigfoot gun belt, and it made all the difference in the world.
How surprised were you when you tried it out and started carrying that way? Just how surprised were you that it made a difference?
I was extremely surprised because I wore a really nice leather belt.
Mm-hmm.
But then I was always having problems with the little sagging issues and so forth, and ordered this belt, and the fit is just amazing. I actually have a number of different guns I use with it, and I can usually carry outside holster. I use a Versacarry usually, and it has made all the difference in the world. The comfort factor, the absolute security of knowing that that gun's not coming out, it makes a big, big difference. I was totally amazed.
It is a huge difference, and it's hard to understand the difference before you try it. And then when you get it, I mean, it really is one of those head slappers, isn't it?
It is, because I wore a really good quality leather belt. It wasn't near the gun belt.
Yeah,
and Bigfoot makes, I believe it's a 14 and a 17 leather, and they talked me into actually the 14, which I'm glad I went with. I guess the 17 is probably really thick, but I'm telling you that it made all the difference, and I love wearing my gun. I don't go anywhere without my gun.
Yep.
And it makes it a pleasure to have.
Yeah, exactly. It makes it a pleasure to have it. You're not worried about it. It stays where it's supposed to. And it's just comfortable all day long. I mean, I know people, they're saying, yeah, there it goes on the belts again. I'm just telling you, until you tried it, you can't believe it. And once you try it, you go, I can't believe I waited this long to do this. It's crazy. Okay. Tell you what, Mark, don't go anywhere. We're going to get to you when we come back, because I do want to talk about Supreme Court. We did have the Supreme Court turn down an important case coming out of Maryland, where they have a ban on so-called assault weapons. And I thought when the court there, the appeals court, ruled against us and said, yeah, it's okay for them to ban these guns, I'm thinking, well, wait a minute, these are like the most popular guns out there. And didn't the Heller decision say that guns that are in popular use or widespread use are covered by the Second Amendment? And the Supreme Court turned the case down, leaving the gun ban in place. I am confused, and I am frankly disheartened by it. There's something going on here, and Mark wants to talk about that. You can get in line, give me a holler, 866-TALK-A-GUN. That'll get you in here. Also, check out guntalk.com. I'm Tom Gresham. We'll be right back with more Gun Talk. right, we're back with you. Of course, we talk about pretty much anything that has to do with guns, whether it's the types of guns or optics or ammo or pistols, rifles, shotguns, revolvers, doesn't matter. We're talking about anything. But we also are going to talk about legislation and litigation and what's going on in the courts. Affects us all when it comes to the Second Amendment. Mark wants to talk about that on line 1 out of Illinois. Mark, what's on your mind here?
Hi, Tom. The Supreme Court turning down another refusing to hear another gun case. They haven't heard anything since basically the McDonald decision. The only conclusion I can come to is that Alito, Kennedy, and Thomas I think they must be concerned that Judge Roberts might not rule the right way, and I'll bet that what's got them concerned about that is that he stunned everybody in the Obamacare case and found the individual mandate that clearly violates the Constitution. He found it constitutional, and I'll bet there were some things when they were talking to each other about the case. There must have been something or a series of things he said that had them alarmed about him.
Okay, let me see if I've got this. So what you're saying is, in our 9-justice Supreme Court, we have Alito, Thomas, Gorsuch. Who else is our conservative that we have there?
The last time Kennedy went with us, and previously Judge Roberts went with us.
Right, but if we lose Roberts, what you're saying is, if we don't have Roberts,
who's the just way? No, he was the one that went with us last time.
Yeah, but if we don't have Roberts, who we've had in the past, he was counted as a conservative. He was, nominated by George Bush. Then what you got is a 5-4 decision against gun rights. And so what you're saying, and you know what, it makes sense to me, is that the conservatives on the court are looking at that and going, we don't trust Roberts to vote on this, to go on the conservative side, to actually obey the law and uphold the Constitution, and therefore it would actually be better for the issue for us to turn it down at this point and wait until we have yet another Trump selection on the Supreme Court before we take these up. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, and I think they might, given Ginsburg is, 83 or 84, and Breyer is only like a year or two younger than she is, and both of them have had serious health issues, so I think they're waiting. They're thinking Trump may get one or two more picks before too long.
Yeah, and I know that the liberal justices had actually planned to leave when Hillary got in, knowing that those seats would remain in liberal hands or liberal minds, and now they're trying to hold on, and it's frankly not a good thing for them to be in such bad shape. Ginsburg is some of them are just basically embarrassing at this point. But you know what? I think you may be onto something. It may very well be that the conservative justices look at this. I'm not saying he is going to vote against us, but I think something has got, and that's the only thing I can think of. Something has them concerned about him. I think you may be right. It's a good point, Mark, and I appreciate the call. I had not thought of it that way, but actually that makes some sense. Maybe they're saying, look, rather than let this get to the Supreme Court and then have it go the wrong way, thus solidifying an anti-Second Amendment position from the Supreme Court, we will just opt to not take it. We'll let the bad law stand. We'll let the bad decisions stand from the appeals court until we can get the court changed. And they may be saying, hey, we just don't trust Roberts anymore to actually uphold the Constitution because he clearly did not on Obamacare. Fascinating idea. Hey, you ever thought about what would happen if you started cutting a barrel off on a gun? How much velocity would you lose? That kind of testing? We're going to be talking about that. It's called ballistics by the inch. When we come back, fascinating stuff. How much velocity do you lose with a shorter barrel? We'll tell you.